Hi! So this video is to kind of help you get started with your Seint makeup, because more than likely you watched a tutorial, you've seen me use it, or maybe even somebody else, and it looked so easy, but maybe now you have your makeup and you're like, what do I do? So this is kind of, I'm going to go through a basic application of Seint IIID foundation, and also talk to you about a little bit of like some troubleshooting things that you could encounter. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, less is more. I cannot stress that enough, that less is more. So when it comes to cream makeup, I promise you, you will need way less than you feel like you need. So within your compact, more than if you had me color match you, I usually recommend 2 colors, one that's a little bit darker, so maybe closer to your skin tone or even a little bit darker, and then one that's a little bit lighter and brighter than your skin tone. And this is, you can kind of use those, 2 colors to create your perfect shade for you. But most of us don't have one color on our face. Like if you look at me, you can see that I'm darker through my nose, I'm darker through here, I have some redness right through here, but I'm a little bit lighter under the eyes, and obviously I want to like brighten in certain areas of my face to bring light. So the method that I'm going to show you today is one of the best methods I feel like in getting started with Seint makeup to ensure that you don't use too much. So I'm going to use one brush. I'm going to use the Seint IIID brush. This one is my favorite for if you just have one brush. It's probably the most universal. So it's great for blending. It's also great for kind of detailing because it does have this fine tip here. We're going to start off with our 2 highlight colors. So I have in my palette here, I have Sandy and June. So those are my 2 colors. And I'm gonna take Sandy, and I'm actually gonna use my finger to apply. You don't have to do this by any means. You can use the tip of your brush too, and that also works great. So, okay, so I'm gonna take the darker color, and I'm first gonna put it right through here because I have redness here, and this is where I want the most coverage. So the darker of my colors is going where your skin is darker, where you may have redness, or where you need a little extra coverage. Now, I'm actually gonna put a little bit of that like down here on my jawline too. This is like kind of my main color. So this would be like your foundation color, right? And then I'm also just gonna take a dot here and a dot here. So you can see not very much. And let's do a little bit on my nose. So just like a little bit on my nose where I have freckles for coverage, okay? So that's all I'm gonna put of that darker color. Now I'm gonna take the lighter color, which is June, and I'm gonna go and just tap that right there, kind of where my skin is hollow and it needs a little bit of coverage there. And then I'm just gonna take that same color and do a tap on the outside. So think of this kind of like your concealer. As long as you don't have, if you have really dark circles under your eyes, you may need to do some color correcting or something like that first to get that taken care of. Okay, so, and then I went right down the center of my nose, and I'm gonna go right through my chin to really brighten, okay? Now, a couple of things to keep in mind with your highlight color. If you feel like when you put your makeup on, your 3D foundation, if you feel like it instantly is enhancing texture, pores, fine lines, and wrinkles, you will know that your colors that you're using are too light for your skin. I promise you. If you're seeing any of those things, then in that particular area, you probably need a darker color, okay? And then if you put it on and you blend it out and you feel yellow, then you're gonna need a lighter color. So you can see though, this doesn't look like it matches my skin exactly. It looks a little bit darker and a little bit more pigmented because I haven't blended it yet. So wait till you blend it to jump to any conclusions. Okay, now I'm going to take my contour color, which I'm gonna use today the color Olive. I'm gonna use Olive. And I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna fill for my cheekbone, and I'm gonna go right underneath my cheekbone, okay? So I'm gonna start in the back and just hug that cheekbone with my finger to get that contour underneath my cheekbone. Now, and you can see I literally just like hugged it and felt my cheekbone. And then when I get to about the outer corner of the eye, that's where I end the contour. Then you can take that contour and you can go up here on your forehead. The glory of this is it does not have to be perfect. So we're gonna do the nose, which I like to do the nose. I actually like to come in front of the nose. A lot of people make the mistake when contouring their nose. They go on the side of it. You actually kind of want to cut it on the top of the nose, okay? And then you can just blend that up right there with your finger. And then you could also do your lip, underneath your lip here if you want. And then that's all I'm gonna do for that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend this, and then I'm gonna apply bronzer and blush and illuminator, okay? So I'm gonna blend this first. While I'm blending it, I do want to talk to you guys about primer. A lot of people ask me what primer I like to use. Most of the time I actually don't use a primer. I feel like with a cream makeup, I actually think with any makeup, to be honest, I don't feel like primers work. So that's my personal opinion, but I feel like primers actually create a barrier between the skin and the makeup, and it makes the makeup on top move around a lot more. So I feel like makeup takes on a more second skin natural look without a primer. So, okay, first I blend out the light colors. So I just take my brush, the dome end, and I'm blending out the light colors on my face, kind of skipping my contour, okay? So I'm gonna go down the bridge of my nose, and I kind of just blend it in the direction that I laid the product on and how you want it to sit on your face. So, and then through here, we're gonna blend out that color, the highlights. And then once I feel like I have the highlights pretty blended, then I just move right into contours. So then you can just take your contour and just kind of do circular motions. And when you blend up your contour, I like to blend upwards. So I'm not taking this contour and blending it down into here. I kind of keep it where it's at, and then if anything, just kind of blend it up like that. So just give it a little blend. And once you feel like you've gotten it blended to your liking, which is 100% up to you, because some people like a more defined contour and some people like a not as defined contour. So, okay, I feel like that's all blended. Now I'm going to bronze. So I'm gonna take the same dome end and I'm gonna take the Bella bronzer, and I'm going to apply this up here. So bronzer kind of goes anywhere that you feel like the sun would give you a sun-kissed glow. So what bronzer does, as opposed to contour, is warms up the skin. Contours are actually like more shadowy, and they're cool toned and they create depth. So they do not warm up the skin. They are actually kind of a cooler tone, and so they create depth and dimension. We're seeing flies. So bronzer goes everywhere that you want to just kind of warm up the skin, and wherever you would kind of get that sun-kissed, glowy, dewy, warm look. So I just put that right above my contour basically. And then you can do a little on your nose. You could even go down here, which by the way, I didn't contour down here, but you can absolutely contour your chin too, your devil chins. So if I contour my chins, you can take your brush, your finger, either or with your contour color, and just kind of push that right up here, right up. And you want to keep your brush up under. You don't want to go up here. You're going to go right up under, just like you were creating a shadow. That's it. So now we've bronzed, we've warmed the skin up. Now let's do blush. So Seint has a beautiful selection of blushes, beautiful. I love so many of them. I find that Madrid is a great one. Here's Madrid right here. It is just like a really pretty, versatile color that looks good on everybody. So I just kind of smile and then lay that right on top. And I like to apply this with my finger, and then I blend it out. So right there. And then I just take my same brush. Notice I haven't cleaned my brush in between. I'm just blending it, and I'm telling you, it's magic. So the color does not stick to the brush and then make your makeup look all muddy. It just blends out seamlessly. So then we take that color and just kind of blend to your liking. You could do a little on your nose, whatever, personal preference, whatever you like. Okay, and then for Illuminator, I'm gonna use the pointy end right here of my 32nd brush. And I'm just going to, I'm using rose gold, and I'm just gonna tap that on my high cheekbone here. To really just see that, how it just like creates that glow, reflects that light so beautifully. Now, rose gold illuminator particularly is a cream. Seint has a lot of really pretty illuminators. The powder ones are gonna pack more of a punch, and they're gonna be definitely more pigmented. So I also like to do the tip of my nose, and you can even do like your Cupid's bow and stuff right here too. From here, this is where I then set with the setting spray. And then if you're oily or you prefer a matte finish, you can set with a powder. Now hear me out. I personally love a dewy finish. I don't like it overly dewy, but I do like a dewy finish. So I like the Charlotte Tilbury's setting spray. This one's my favorite for more of a matte finish and like a long lasting finish. So I'm gonna spray that. Once you have that on, let it dry. Seint has a setting spray. It's called Stay Spray. I do love Seint's setting spray too. It just has more of a dewy finish. So it's definitely more dewy. This actually works great as a primer too. So if you wanna spray your face before you do your makeup with the Stay Spray, then do your makeup, then set again, works really well too. But Seint spray is great. It works awesome. It's just more of a dewy finish. And where I don't set with the powder, I try to get more of the mattifying from my setting spray than a powder, if that makes sense. So now, once you've let that dry, if you want an extra matte finish, this is where then I would take your setting powder and go ahead and set it. Now for setting powders, I have tried 500 million of them, I swear, because I've just been on the quest forever and ever to find a setting powder that gives you a great finish that doesn't provide texture to the skin. And I have yet to find one that I love, but I will tell you my top two favorites. Okay, if you need something that's heavily set, if you want to set your makeup really good, you like a matte finish, you're oily, the Coty Airspun Translucent Powder is amazing. It's like less than $6 and you can find it at any drugstore. You can find it anywhere. Get translucent. It's called Coty Airspun, C-O-T-Y, Airspun. It has been around since 1963 and there's a reason. It's because it's good. Nothing else compares to it, in my opinion. Now, if you like a good setting powder that's not super powdery or real heavy, if you just like something to just tap a little bit of extra dewiness off your skin, I love this NARS one. It's the NARS Reflecting Light Crystal Translucent Powder, and it comes with this little pad, and honestly this is like 2 years old. I've had it forever, but you can take and just kind of swipe it in there and just kind of press this anywhere that you want to mattify. I'm big into pressing your powder into your skin, not dusting it all over. But let me just kind of show you, maybe you can see here, if I mattify right here and under the eye, just so that you can kind of see the difference. So you can kind of already see that, the difference in the two, but this is a great one. It's one of my favorites to mattify without it being too heavy. So you've got a beautiful flawless finish. It's so pretty. I hope that helps you guys with your first application. And I do believe there is a little bit of a learning curve to using a 3D foundation, but once you get it, you legit will never go back to anything else. I promise. It's so simple. It's easy. It's compact. It's all the things. There's just a few things that getting it right may take a minute. So like I said, if you're seeing fine lines, pores, wrinkles, anything like that being enhanced, your color is too light. So that's when you can reach out to me, or reach out to Seint and exchange that color. You have 30 days from the time of purchase to return or exchange, which is awesome. And then if you feel like once you put your makeup on and you've blended it all out and you feel yellow, then you know that your color is too dark. But that is why I do recommend 2 highlight colors. So if you're putting your darker color on and you feel like that one is too dark for you, try using less of the darker color and more of the lighter color that I recommended for you. So that makes a world of a difference. And that's honestly why I recommend the 2 colors. So I'll give you an example. For me, I wear Sandy in June, right? Well, in the winter months when I'm more pale, I put June here, and maybe just a teeny bit of Sandy through here. So, but in the summer months, I'm more Sandy everywhere, and I just barely brighten with that hint of June. And sometimes I even have to go darker to like mango or something in the summer. But for the most part, you can use those 2 colors that I recommended for you to kind of create that perfect shade for you. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, I really hope that helps. I hope that you enjoy your Seint makeup, and let me know if you guys have questions.